It's been about half a year since we planted our plants, and I'm sure you can't wait to see how they're doing. We have some good and some bad news, so which to begin with? Well, let's start with the good. In the last video, yellow flowers and large leaves grew on the peanut plant, but then it started to grow very fast and now they look like this. It no longer has any flowers and I don't see any fruits either. Maybe it's because the plant looks kind of ill. After all, look at the leaves. They all have some kind of holes in them. And the ends are very dry here. We don't understand what's going on with it. Although, wait. Well, would you look at that? It's a huge green caterpillar that's been eating our plants the whole time. But where did it come from? Well, on the other hand, we can't blame the caterpillar for anything. He just wants to live, so he has to eat. That's why we're going to leave it outside to feast on other plants and not our peanuts. Otherwise, he would eat our peanuts first and then go on to the mango and spoil the entire experiment. But we'll return to the peanuts later. Let's move on to the mango. It seems to be the most beautiful of our plants as of right now. Its leaves are very bright and saturated. I hope they will always stay like this. Do you remember how they looked in the last video? This is what it looks like now. During this time it had a few new leaves and now it almost doesn't fit into our picture anymore. A disease was found on one of the new leaves, but I don't think it's anything serious. Also, a lot of small water droplets appeared on the surface. Although it's not entirely water, but rather some kind of sticky syrup. Write us in the comments if you have any idea what this could be. Maybe this is how the plant solves excess moisture, but I'm not sure. By the way, the mango seed from which our plant grew didn't have anything left of it. It gave the plant everything to live on. The mango plant is already big, and the mug is too small, so we'll definitely have to replant it in the next video. And how's our avocado doing? Oh wow! It grew quite a lot during this time. But unfortunately not everything is as good as it seems. Some of the leaves also got infected with something. A disease or bacteria. It's a good thing it's only found on 2 leaves, and the plant can handle that and grow new leaves. The avocado seed has also changed the color a bit. But unlike the mango, it still seems to be alive and still participates in the development of the stem. As you probably remember, our pineapple didn't grow in the previous videos and didn't look alive at all. We've almost lost all hope and wanted to throw it out. But then this happened. New stem began to appear from the ground near its bushes. And there are many of them. We cleaned the remains of the old leaves a bit so the new stem would germinate. We also had to remove 2 still living stems to clear the way for the new ones. We don't know whether the old central stem has been resurrected, or if it will remain dead and only the new ones will grow. But it seems to me that new leaves are growing deep inside the main stem. It's difficult to see them yet, but let's hope for the best. We're going to give it an aesthetic hairstyle, water it, and watch in anticipation for its future growth. Many of you send us pictures of your own plants. But remember, it's much better to send them in a horizontal instead of vertical format. Like this. Then I will be able to show them off in other videos. And at last, the most anticipated plant, our watermelon. The plant itself was almost dead. Probably because we planted it in early spring, and during this period these plants usually die. Yes, it is small, probably because there isn't as much light at home as there is outside. But nonetheless, we have our watermelon. we decided that there was no point in continuing to have a plant on which almost all the leaves have disappeared. At this rate, the watermelon will very quickly dry out and nothing will be left behind. But before we dispose of the watermelon, we decided to untangle the plant in its entire length. And look at that! It's almost 5 meters long! I can't believe we've been able to place all of this on wooden ribs. Well, watermelon, it's time to leave your plant. We thought that if he didn't grow up, he certainly wouldn't be able to make it. But we still decided to cut it open and see what's inside. And here we were surprised. Despite the fact that it didn't grow up very big, it is mature. See all that red flesh in there? It does look very tasty. Maybe these are some kind of melons that simply grow very tiny. After all, even the skin is very thin. Of course, we tried to taste it and it turned out to be quite good and sweet. Plus, inside are many seeds. Look how dark they are. Let's keep all of them and try to get an even bigger harvest next year. I promised we would return to the peanuts later. And now you'll find out why. Now that the big pot is free, we decided to plant the peanuts there. Here they will have more space to develop, and maybe we'll be able to get some peanuts before the end of this year. Even though the watermelon has left us, fulfilled his mission and left us with an offspring, it's not over yet and the experiment continues.